This Nifty is now heading towards that December low, right? 17,774 was touted to be a crucial support for the market and looks like it could break any time now, the December low. So do keep that on your radar. Mitesh, thanks a lot for joining in. Let's get a quick grip on what's happening in the world of commodities. Manisha Gupta is here. Manisha, what's the one commodity you're looking at this morning?
So now I'm looking at metals, and industrial metals have continued to run up and precious metals have run up too. And within that, gold is where you should keep an eye on. Fourth straight week of gains coming in for this one. And we are inching towards that $1,900 per ounce mark for the international gold prices. It's an 8-month high. And I said, fourth weekly gain constantly coming in for the gold prices. You know, it was in the month of September that we saw gold prices decline all the way to $1,600 per ounce. But we're trading at $1,900 per ounce. And much of that strength really comes in from the decline in US dollar index, which is trading at a 7-month lows, and the treasury yields have continued to decline as well. It clearly has been $300 of a gain in last 3 months coming in for the market, and the latest trigger has been the US inflation, where the number has slowed to the lowest since May 2020, and the first time that the headline inflation also has declined to that monthly lows. So clearly a lot of support coming in because of that. And then you have CME Fed Watch tool pricing a 95% chance of a 25 basis point rate hike from the US Fed in the month of Feb, which is going to be the first Fed meeting, and markets are clearly pricing that in. That is something that has been factored in by the markets therein. Good amount of buying from the central banks. The inflation has come off but continues to stay at the elevated levels, and that is the reason you have the central bank buying coming in. In 2022, central banks bought a total of 673 tons, highest since 1967, and China as well has released its holdings at around 2010 tons. This is coming after a couple of years as well. So good amount of buying from central banks, and China and Russia are the major central bank buyers who have seen a lot amount of gold coming in. And then if you look at the funds, the managers, money managers, etc., they have been buying gold on a longer basis as well. China continues to rule that roost, 100 tons since December 20th, and 16,000 new longs have been acquired in last 1 month itself when it comes to gold there. This is what gold has done in sense of import into India as well. And we seem to be around that 700 to 900 tons of an annual import in case of gold. Last year clearly was a bumper year. You saw 1,085 tons coming in, and this was the highest in a decade that we saw into that market. Another important feature when it comes to gold is that if you look at the average return of last average return of 20% is what gold has given you in last 7 global recessions. So if the markets are looking at a slowdown or weaker number continuing, then gold perhaps is the place to go to. It clearly has outperformed all asset classes in 2023 in the first couple of weeks here. This is what most banks and brokerages are telling us. This is a conservative view. 1,700 to 1,900 is expectation of gold prices in 2023 coming in from TD, Commerce Bank, State Stone Wealth and Metal Focus as well. But there are many banks and brokerage who now believe that $2,000 per ounce is coming in case of gold. Citi, IIFL and UBS are still talking about 1,900 to 1,950. Nirmal Bang talks about 2,000. Saxo Bank says that if 2,000 is taken, that 2,075 is where we are headed in that sense. Stan Charts, Swiss Asia Capital, Credit Suisse, or Gold Mining ETF all expect newer all-time highs in case of gold. They're looking at levels of 2,070, which has been an all-time high until now, to almost 2,500 is the view coming in from Swiss Asia. Stancy also says 2,250 is a possibility. Late last night, we saw reports coming in from Credit Suisse and also Goldman Sachs, who also are talking about higher gold prices. CPM says all-time highs are expected over next 5 years in case of gold. We have Credit Suisse talking about 2,200 in sense of gold as well. Swiss Asia said all-time highs in this year and the next year are a possibility in case of gold. So everywhere that you look, it's all-time highs being talked about gold.
All right, Manisha, thank you very much for that. You know, from a stocks perspective, there's no real, gold mining